Rockies. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 75 degrees here at the ballpark. You see light winds, humidity at 27%. It is overcast and there are some showers in the area. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup facing the lefty. Span, Tomlinson, and Duffy. Buster Posey will hit cleanup. Then it's Pence and Belt, and see what Belt's done in his last 9 games against the Rockies. Crawford, Blanco, and then Cueto will hit 9.
On the hill today for the Colorado Rockies will be the left-hander Chris Russin. Russin 6'2", 195-pounder. He's 29 years of age in his second year at the big league level. This is what he has done this year. He's been in and out of the bullpen. He's made 4 starts, 1 and 2 with a 3.93 ERA. And if you take your bats against him, you're going to see a high 80s fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll throw anything at you at any time. He has to be very good with his command. He has to be very good with this mixture of speeds. He has faced the Giants 6 times in his career. 5 of those are starts. He's 2-1 with a 3.86 ERA. And what do you say we take a look at the defense that the Rockies will use today behind Russin, starting in their outfield from left to right? It'll be Parra, Blackman, and Gonzalez. Good assist arms across the board with really strong arms in left and in right. Story and Arenado on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Reynolds on the right side. Tony Wolters will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here we go. The Rockies winning on Friday night 5-2, and the Giants winning yesterday 10-5. So this game will determine who wins the series. As Russin deals, and the first pitch is a called strike. So we get underway at 2:10. Span did not play yesterday. Went 1 for 4 on Friday. Russin trying to figure it out with Walters, and now he just steps off. 2 for 6 lifetime. Span against Russin. And they're still trying to get on the same page, and it's time for a conference. And it's a base hit. So whatever they were doing didn't work. And now they are going to have a conference. I didn't want to throw that pitch. You made me throw it, and I'm not happy about it. I'm the guy in charge. I have the ball in my hand.
It's going on my baseball card.
So stop it.
And by the way, have you heard about the Nissan keys to the game? Number 1, Belt and Posey. Keep that Coors magic going. Belt lifetime 429 here. Posey 385 with 11 homers and 2 clean D. This is a ballpark that you just cannot give up extra outs. Those will be our Nissan keys to the game.
Here's Tomlinson. Tomlinson bluffs a bunt, and he takes a pitch low and away. Calling balls and strikes is Jim Reynolds, and it's C.B. Buckner at first, Culbreth at second, Gonzalez at third.
Reynolds, he's kind of a rule book strike zone. He'll call some knees, he'll call some belts. You don't get big corners.
Boy, that was quick.
And he's got a good pickoff move. And with Jim Reynolds, you don't get a lot of corner strikes. Kind of a hitter's umpire.
Not that great for this ballpark.
No.
Tomlinson's got some ownage on Russin. And this is down the right field line. A long run for Gonzalez, and he's going to get there and make the catch. Five for 10 ownage with a couple of doubles and a home run. However, 0 for 1. Here's Duffy hitting .250. Duffy with a couple of home runs this year. He's got a home run lifetime against Russin. Span's got 6 steals. He's been thrown out 4 times. He's got a good lead. And now he's picked off. And Reynolds' throw is in plenty of time. So that didn't go well.
It did not. Watch the leg. Just a short step. I mean, Span was going on first move, and he just guessed wrong. And Russell, to his credit, really got that ball over to Reynolds quickly, and that was the key to that play.
And Duffy takes wide. It would have been nice to have Buster Posey get up in the first inning. Still can happen. Two and 0. Duffy yesterday 2 for 4, scored a couple of runs. And this is trapped by LeMahieu, and that'll end the inning. Cueto coming out. Rockies coming up. And the lineup that'll face Cueto, it's a good one. It's Blackman to lead it off, followed by LeMahieu, and then Carlos Gonzalez. And he's hot. It was cold about a week ago, not anymore. It'll be Arenado, Parra, and then Reynolds. Trevor Story's going to hit 7th, Walters 8th, and then Russin 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Johnny Cueto. Cueto, 30 years old. He's 5'11", 220 pounds in his 9th year at the big league level. This is what he's done in 10 starts. 9 of those starts, the Giants have won. He is 7-1 with a 2.38 ERA. Look at the strikeouts, 67 against 12 walks, just 63 hits allowed to 75 and 2/3 innings. And you're going to see a pitcher that will give you some big-time creativity in his delivery. He'll vary that. His fastball will go anywhere from 90 to 95, depending on the mood and the grip. You got a curveball, slider, a changeup, come at you with a lot of different looks.
And Blackman will take a strike. Blackman has 3 hits in the series, 3 for 8. And Belt is going to dig this one out, and that's 1 out. Nice play.
Snag. Cueto against the Rockies, lifetime 4-2 here at Coors Field, 3-1. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Johnny Cueto, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Blanco, Span, and Pence. That's your outfield. Crawford, Duffy on the left side. Tomlinson joined by Bell on the right side with Joe Panic getting a day off. And Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Buster caught yesterday. Not only did he catch the 3-hour and 27-minute game, he also warmed up 7 pitchers yesterday.
Hey, it's Coors Field.
But he hit 6 RBIs, hit a couple of home runs.
That'll get a little extra bounce in your step.
This is hit into the gap, and nobody's going to get it. Just try to keep LeMahieu to a double, and that's exactly what Blanco did. So 2 balls hit hard here in the first inning.
All right, time now for our greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. On Monday against the Padres, Johnny Cueto, a 2-hit shutout, no walks, 6 strikeouts, 114 pitches. It was Cueto's second consecutive complete game and third complete game against the Padres in a span of 28 days. That is our greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. He was dealing. And I think the Padres would just prefer to miss him when at all possible.
Here's Gonzalez hitting .294. Cueto patiently waiting for Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is not going to speed it up. Taps this one out in front of home plate. It's going to be Cueto to barehand it and throw, and they got him. And the Rockies are going to definitely have somebody take a look at this. Gonzalez thinks he was safe. Of course, I would too.
Well, it was going to be a tough play for Johnny Cueto. Usually you see Buster Posey come out, but it was just a step and a half, perhaps too far from him. And Gonzalez with good speed sniffing a hip. It is going to be Cueto and nobody else. And they get him. I mean, that's a brilliant play defensively from Johnny Cueto's perspective. Not an easy play at all.
On the play, LeMahieu goes to third.
Oh, just a clear-cut case of helping yourself out with defense. Now watch Cueto throw and then get in quickly. You anticipate that catcher, and then all of a sudden you realize it's your play. And it took a perfect throw with some mustard on it. One more look. Bare hand. He had no chance to go to his glove and make an exchange. It had to be bare hand and go.
Here's Arenado. Arenado takes a pitch down low. 1 for 4 on Friday, and then Arenado came back with a couple of hits yesterday. Pulls this one on the ground, foul. Arenado 3 for 11 against Cueto in his career, and one of those 3 hits a home run. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. 18-inning scoreless streak.
Not surprised by that, with as good as he has been. I think too about Cueto. I mean, he has quick innings, pitch count wise. Guys love to play behind him.
2-2. That's 18 innings against the Rockies. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crawford charging and gloving and throwing, and that'll end the inning. So Cueto pitches through the double by LeMahieu. No score. Goes big play the Togo's way yesterday. Buster Posey, 3-run home run in the top of the first off of Eddie Butler. Gone. He likes that spot. 3-run home run in the top of the 7th off of Estevez. I told you he likes that spot. His 3rd career game with 2 home runs, 2nd career game with 6 runs batted in. And here Posey takes a strike.
Did you know he likes that spot?
He likes that spot. He's played Pepper with that bullpen a lot over the years. Out of play. Nothing in 2. 268 for Buster Posey.
Now that's where the pitch location was on the 2 home runs he hit yesterday. One of the first inning, down and in, he inside outed. Then the other one was 2-0 count in the 8th, up and away, just went right with the location.
This is wrapped into the gap. Can Parra cut it off? He cannot. So Buster Posey is going to find himself at second base. Put on the brakes, Buster.
I think he thought about third base momentarily. But then the reality of Gerardo Parra's arm out in left field just sort of made you weigh anchor.
I'm surprised the ball got by him, to be honest with you.
Well, it just gives you an idea how fast these gaps are. We always talk about the infield. The gaps are quick too. His ball's hit hard, but he's got good range, and he was cheating over towards left center. And even with all that, the ball got by him.
Here's Pence. Pence 295. Came back yesterday. Hit the ball hard yesterday.
He did. He hit the ball hard a lot to right field.
He had 1 hit taken away from him by a diving catch by Gonzalez. Overall, he went 2 for 5. He did not play on Friday. 2 balls, no strikes. Belt to follow.
He may have the Rocky shirt on, but he's a Giants fan. You could just tell.
So this particular woman thinks Buster has crazy eyes, or Pence has crazy eyes?
Well, yeah, I guess. Either that or the umpire at first base, C.B. Buckner.
They got a bunch of those cards. Hopefully we're not in it.
I don't know.
We'd rather be left out of that, okay?
You saw us last night watching the Warriors game. We had crazy eyes too.
Everybody did.
That's the pitch that Russin wants. It's just that little backdoor cutter that just steals that outside location away from right-handers. It'll come into the strike zone late, wrap around that outside corner.
Pence drives it into the gap. No one's going to get this one. It's going to bounce up and over, so Pence will have a ground rule double. He may have actually gone for third, but the Giants lead 1-0. Back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, Pepper in that left center field gap. This pitch is up and really off the plate away, and it's a strong top hand that goes out and hooks this thing in the gap. Got a lot of leg movement, but the hands stay pretty quiet. That's just a strong-handed swing right there. This is where they lose a break. It's cost them 90 feet. Even with a tender hamstring that Pence has, I think he would have made it to third. His right hammy.
Here's Belt. Belt at 286. Belt also did not play on Friday. Played yesterday, had 3 hits. And here he takes a strike.
Pretty conservative set in the outfield against Belt, and as usual we see the right side of the infield stack up with 3 defenders.
Belt, little pop up to left, a long run for Parra. He's got speed, and he makes a great catch. There's your center fielder playing left field.
Well, you have to have range in this ballpark, and the Rockies really have it with their 3. The 3 outfielders all capable of playing center field. Parra, and I don't think this was a timer either. I mean, he was getting over, realizing he had a long way to go. This ball was kind of falling away from him. It would have been fair. Nice play. Slides right up to his back leg.
Brandon Crawford hitting .256, 6 home runs, 27 runs batted in. And Crawford looks at a strike. He's got 4 hits and 10 lifetime at bats against Russin. 1 for 4 in the game yesterday. 0 for 4 on Friday, but his defense in this series has been fabulous. I say that it's been that way since he got to the big leagues. Hit on the ground up the middle. LeMahieu will throw off balance in the dirt, and the ball squirts away. Here comes Pence. Russin falls down. It's 2-0.
Interesting to see how they rule this. I mean, your instincts might say it's an error, but it may be a hit and an error.
Yeah, the error will be on LeMahieu's throw, which allowed Pence to score.
I mean, it would have been a nice play. He had to go to his right, off balance throw.
Or it could be an error all the way.
I think it's going to be E4 all the way.
So here's Blanco. 3 left-handed hitters in a row in Belt, Crawford, and Blanco. Blanco had a good game yesterday, filling in for Span. 2 for 5, knocked in a pair of runs. And he looks at a strike. Hit and an error.
Well, that's generous.
I would say Brandon Crawford should be happy with the official score. And Russin not so much. Here's the pitch. And Blanco fouls it off of Walters. 0-2. Johnny Cueto coming out. Nice play. Walters 1-2.
Walters very athletic. He's one of the faster catchers in all of baseball.
Now, 10 years from now, maybe not so much.
Yeah, not so much in 10 years, but that's just.
But now you're right. You got to keep an eye on him on the bases.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He's got 3 stolen bags. Has not been thrown out, but I like the way he moves left and right. He's got a lot of agility in the blocking category.
Close. 2-2. By the way, Blanco has got ownage on Russin. He's 4 for 6. There's Johnny Cueto getting ready. Hunter Pence making his way around the bases. Base hit. Crawford's going to go. And Cueto's going to have a shot to knock in a run.
Well, the Dodgers are coming to AT&T Park for a 3-game series, June 10th through the 12th. And on Sunday, June 12th, the first 30,000 fans will receive a vintage gray SF cap presented by Dignity Health. Get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets.
That's a good-looking hat.
Good-looking lid.
I love that cap. We're going to have to beg for one of those, too.
Yep. It's all right, though.
There's a family of caps and hats. Of course, it's not a bad idea in Denver with the altitude and the sun here to have a closet full of caps and hats.
Oh, don't leave home without it.
Here's Cueto. Let's see what Cueto's got up his sleeve. Throw to first, maybe to check to see if Cueto is going to bunt. Crawford at third. Cueto bunts it. And they'll get the out at first. With Reynolds charging like he was, it really eliminated Crawford from thinking about sneaking down the line.
Well, a good bunt. Went down the first base line as it is supposed to. Did it on one pitch.
By the way, we found out something about in yesterday's game. Corey Guerin's hit. He had the take sign.
Yeah, well, everybody was a little bit upset, but hey, Corey Guerin, first big league at bat. It's reason to believe he doesn't know the take sign.
Yeah, the 2-strike take sign. Span fouls this one. This was the base hit by Guerin, and he was not even supposed to swing. And Bruce Bochy threw his hands in the air. Roberto Kelly threw his hands in the air, but not Corey Guerin. He got the baseball.
He's got a big league knock. He's got a big league batting average. He now leads the National League in hitting.
How did he get out of the way?
I have no idea.
I know. Span's going to be the captain on your dodgeball team.
He's first-round pick. After watching that, I mean, that had his armpit just burying in on it.
Span picked up a hit in the first inning. It's Crawford and Blanco on base.
Buster Posey, Johnny Cueto talking about pitching.
On the ground, Arenado. And this will end the inning. Giants scored twice. Parra will lead things off.
Brought to you by AAA. Get a free Giants all-season blanket. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
Here in Denver, it's a 2-0 lead for the Giants. And Parra takes a call strike. Parra, tough out for anybody, but especially for Cueto. He's 11 for 32. Wrapped. Span on his horse, over his head. And it's a double. Onage is Onage.
It just, uncanny. And it really gets down to one thing. When you start talking about a guy having good numbers, lifetime against a pitcher, he simply sees the ball out of his hand. He sees it early. And for a Parra who's got good lifetime numbers, and he gets a good pitch to hit too. I mean, it always helps to get something to hit that's right out there, belt high out of the middle of the plate. And to Parra's credit, he did not miss it.
Here's Reynolds. Reynolds at .315, a couple of home runs, 16 runs batted in. Which is outside for a ball. Reynolds has 3 hits in the series. Now it's interesting looking at those numbers for Reynolds. In his career, we know what he's done. This year, his home runs are down and his average is up.
And his strikeouts are down.
Now, Cueto is ready, and Reynolds is too, and he skies this one into left field, and Parra's thinking about tagging. Span's going to get a head start. Here's the throw to third, and they know. It looked like he may have tagged him on his foot before he got to the bag, and the Giants obviously will get on the horn.
Well, Matt Duffy's reaction immediately was that, yeah, I did touch him. Make sure you take a look. Watch the back foot. And he does indeed touch him on the right foot.
That's going to be a close one.
He goes up, and Duffy really has become good at this, tagging the backside of a runner.
I think they got him.
I think they got him too. This replay review is presented by Xfinity, and this may be the telling one right here.
Yep. It may not have been had his right arm been tucked underneath his body as he slid into third.
Well, Duffy knew immediately that there was a chance because he knew that he had made contact with his foot. And I don't know if Manny Gonzalez, or I guess it was Fielding Colbreth who was making the call, who came over from second base. I don't think he saw the contact point of the foot.
Hear the song they're playing?
Let it be.
That's pretty good.
Very creative.
I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, they do a good job here.
Let it be. Yeah, they want the call to stand. Let it be. We're saying, do not let it be.
All they need to make sure is that he made contact with the foot. I'm sure that's what they're looking for in New York. Yeah, he got him. He's out.
Listen to the Giants fans if this out call is made by Field and Colbreth. Got him. Nice throw, Denard Span. That'd be.
Indeed. And nice tag, Matt Duffy. We talked about the importance of good D in this game, and that's an example of it right there.
It's a bad play, by the way, by Parra.
Well,
guys don't tag up on balls where the outfielder's coming in.
Plus, you're already in scoring position when you have Trevor Story, who's got home run power. He's got 13 home runs. Not like you're gaining a lot.
And a strike to Story.
But, I mean, it's a good play if you make it, because then it sets up a third less than 2 out situation.
Look, maybe the Rockies determined before the series started that if they had a chance to run on Denard Span, they were going to do it.
Yeah, I think that had everything to do with it. Stu Cole bringing him over. Cole, the third base coach. Hey, just took a good throw. Had to be perfect, and it was.
0-2 pitch coming up. Maybe. As Cueto thought better of it in the middle of his, well, at least at the beginning of his windup. Nope. CB Buckner said, no. 1-2. Two balls, two strikes.
Just trying to lure Story out of the strike zone, but he's not biting.
Two for 4 lifetime against Cueto. So this time Cueto comes in. So it's 3-2.
Mr. Posey likes to do that too. He likes that front door breaking ball, but if you're going to throw that pitch, you got to hit it on the corner in. You can't miss out over the plate.
Foul back. Story had 2 hits on Friday. Yesterday the Giants shut him down. He went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Hit out to right center field. Something on it. And gone. On a 3-2 pitch, Story hits it out, and it's a 2-1 game. Home run number 14.
Well, how big was that play now from Denard Span to Matt Duffy to get the out on Gerardo Parra trying to tag up? Yep. You're talking tie ball game, 1 out.
Huge.
So, and this is the point when you have a guy up there like Story who's got home run power. What do you really gain it by getting the third? It was not worth the risk. Here, opposite field, well, he just flipped his wrist, and that thing exited quickly. Strong hands.
Here's Walters. Walters 195.
Yeah, he may be under 200 against the rest of the league, but he has hit the Giants pitching well.
Yeah, 2 for 4 on Friday. Did not do the catching yesterday. The pitch just misses. It was Garneau who did the catching yesterday. Hundley still banged up. Hit to Belt, and Belt will take it himself, and that'll end the inning. Story's home run gets the Rockies on the board after 2-1 Giants.
brought to you locally by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org.
Check out the Silver Slugger 3-packs. 3 games starting at $99, including the June 25th against the Phillies. Madison Bumgarner Silver Slugger bobbleheads to the first 40,000 fans, and that's courtesy of Chevron. The pack also includes a limited edition coin commemorating our 3 recipients of the 2015 Silver Slugger Award. 3-pack. Visit sfgiants.com/minipacks. Tomlinson 0 for 1. Are those getting longer, those copies?
It seems like it.
Yeah, it does.
Either that or we're getting tongue-tied.
Could be a pretty good combination of both.
Yeah, we kind of have a 50-word limit on those things. It gets out past 50 words, we're in trouble.
1 ball and 1 strike to Tomlinson. And he rolls it foul. 1 and 2. First time you watch Kelby Tomlinson at the plate and you watch some of his swings, you think, okay, all right, now what? But you can only appreciate him if you watch him for a week. He's got a really short swing. And, you know, you see swings like that, you go, what do you see in that guy? But you got to watch him.
Well, he's very difficult to strike out because of how quick his swing is. I mean, he defends the strike zone well, and it's not an easy guy to get to go out of the strike zone. And he's fast. You're right. I mean, we saw him when he first came up, and he was kind of pinch hit and playing a little bit here. And then he started playing. We weren't all impressed.
Right.
And then we started seeing him play every day.
Every day.
And then that's when you really started to appreciate what this guy could do.
And now full count. Russin allowed 2 runs on 4 hits in the second inning. Tomlinson with a base hit into right center field.
It's kind of the go-to pitch for Chris Russin when he wants to get in a pitch. He's not throwing fastballs that get it in counts. He's throwing that little cutter. Try to wrap that thing around the outside corner. If you try and pull that, you roll it over and it's a ground ball to the shortstop. And Tomlinson stayed inside it beautifully. Russin, you're going to see a lot of fastball cutter, so 75% of the time you're going to see something hard coming at you. His changeup is his go-to specialty pitch, although he'll show you a slider and a curveball just to stay in shape.
Here's Duffy. Duffy takes a strike. Sometimes you say, how is that a strike? Walters looked like he was falling down trying to catch it. But Duffy didn't turn around like he thought anything was unusual. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he definitely would have turned around if it was a call strike 3. That's true. I think one thing about Duffy is, he doesn't let an early strike, if it's a bad call, take him out of an at bat. Doesn't look like the Giants really have a book on Russin yet out of the stretch.
They do not.
They're taking one-way leads, but on first move, they're going back to the bag.
Duffy rolls it to third. Arenado's only play is going to be at first, and they get Duffy.
All right, time now for McDonald's True Stories. And on this date, 2010, that's when Buster Posey was called up from Fresno and made his season debut, batting 6th and playing first base. Posey went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. The Giants beat the D-backs 12-1. And that's our McDonald's True Stories.
Yeah, I think he got a bunch of hits really fast. He got 3 hits the next night.
Well, he was a hit right off the bat.
Pitches down low. Think about how lucky he really was to get there in time to watch the Giants win a World Series.
Well,
spent a month in 09 really warming up pitchers. Yeah, I don't think the Giants would have gone anywhere without Buster Posey in 2010.
No.
Tomlinson should steal it, and he does.
It's a big play. We're making our forward right choice. Russin, who does such a good job with the runners at first base, he kind of forgot all about Tomlinson. And Tomlinson, with a no look from Russin, just took off, and he had a huge lead. And with his speed and a good jump, Tony Wolters, the catcher for the Rockies, had none chance. Our forward right choice.
Now it's 2-0, and the Rockies will bring the infield in. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Generous strike right there. Oh, she's blowing kisses. She likes Buster Posey.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
But that stolen base for Tomlinson, I mean, that's one of those stolen bases, but you have to make it because you already are in scoring position up there with Posey in the batter's box.
That's kind of what happened with Parra.
Exactly. It's a good play if you make it, period. If you don't, not a good play.
Posey digs it out and stays alive. What he really did is he just spoiled a good pitch.
Russin pitching for the strikeout.
Almost a handcuff. 3-2.
I think Walters was surprised he caught that.
He was. Walters looked like he was headed to the backstop and the ball was in his glove.
I've seen that.
This may be a sellout today. 3-2. And Posey will take the walk. Ruffin acted like he was upset, but I don't think he cared at all whether he walked Buster Posey or not.
Well, he's got another base to play with here too. And Hunter Pence, after the right-handed Pence gets in the batter's box, you're going to see a ton of lefties. Belt, Crawford, Blanco. So he may be very careful with Pence. He's already got the runner at third base. And really, with Tomlinson stealing that base, it allows Russin to pitch carefully to the 2 right-handers in the lineup. Posey and Pence.
Pence doubled in the left center field in the second. And he is going to wrap it into the gap into right center field. 1 run's going to score. Posey will stop at third. Pence into second with a double, and it's 3-1. Pence did not waste any time.
And he didn't get a hanger either. He went down and beat a good pitch. That's 2 great at bats from Pence. I mean, this is knee-high out of the middle of the plate, and he stays inside it beautifully.
Yeah, that's the one where Russin's thinking he's going to get a ground ball in that
exactly
pitch.
What he's pitching for. And he just went down and beat it. That's going to bring out Steve Foster, the pitching coach for the Rockies. And I think what Foster senses is that you may have a frustrated pitcher out there making good pitches and guys are beating him on it. It can happen, especially to a young pitcher. A lot of times young pitchers will get to the big leagues and they feel like they have to do something different than what they've done their entire career in the minor leagues. They have to be better. They have to be finer. They have to have better command, and it's not true. Got to be aggressive. But up here, you will make good pitches, and guys will square them up like we just saw Pence do.
Belt hit a pop-up down the left field line that Parra ran a long way and made a nice sliding catch. Now he'll hit with the infield in on an overshift, and he's going to rope this one foul, but 6 rows back down the right field line. In this ballpark, in opportunities like this, you have to take advantage of it.
You really do.
Arenado, the only defender on the left side. Belt, high drive into right center field. It is off the bottom of the wall, and Posey and Pence are going to score, and Belt's got a double. And Russin, hands on hips, thinking, this is not going the way I wanted it to go. Two RBIs for Belt. Giants with a single, a walk, and 2 doubles in this inning. And here's Crawford.
We talked about Belt being one of our keys before the game because of his lifetime numbers here in this ballpark. Loves it here. Here he just takes a ball at the middle in part of the plate, finds a gap, picks up a couple of ribeyes, and that's the look you're talking about from Russin.
Here's Crawford. Crawford, an infield hit. He rolls it foul, and it's 0-1. Giants already with 8 hits with 1 out here in the 3rd.
You know, it's almost like they finally put a crack in the dam yesterday.
That's true.
The 8th inning, we had 10 Giants hitters come up, and all 10 of them hit the ball hard. And after that, well, they've been offensive.
Crawford pops this one back and out of play. Crawford on the ground. It'll be LeMahieu making the play, and Belt moves to 3rd.
All right, time now for our cold hard facts. It's brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. And we were talking yesterday, the Giants recorded 8 hits at the top of the 8th inning, and every out was hit hard. It's the most in an inning since August 17th of 2012 when they did it against the Padres. The San Francisco record for most hits in an inning is 11. They did that in 1966 against the Cardinals, and they did it in the top of the 3rd inning in St. Louis.
Cueto is going to hit here in the 3rd inning as they're going to walk Blanco intentionally. Span went out on the on-deck circle because you have to have somebody out there, and Cueto just wasn't ready. So here comes Johnny Cueto, who's got 2 RBIs on the season. He's 2 for 23. It's not without a possibility that Cueto could try to bunt for a hit. Right back to where it came from, and that's going to end the inning. Giants 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave a pair. It's 5-1 San Francisco.
Bay Area is brought to you by Cresco. Need a tool? We got that. Need instruction? We got that too.
Well, the Sharks are in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time ever, and you can check out Game 1 tomorrow as they take on the Penguins in Pittsburgh. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., you'll see it on NBC Bay Area. Coverage will continue with Sharks Playoff Central on CSN California, and all we can say is go Sharks.
Absolutely. Here's Russin. We were laughing while we were doing our lineup cards before the game starts, as this is to Belt, and Belt kicks it around, recovers, throws to Cueto, not in time, and he dropped the ball. So the rhythm on that play started when Belt couldn't keep it in his glove. So I can't imagine that that's a base hit.
Well, it's rare that he gets that much glove on it and he doesn't make the play. And it gets kind of tough where you don't really know where the bag is. You're kind of searching for your foot. You're not concentrating on catching the ball. They have not ruled as to what that play would be. Hitter in there. Saying E3.
Is that what you said, or is that what they posted?
That's what I'm saying.
Here's Blackman, who bounced out to Belt. Hit ball really hard to Belt. It'll be an error on Belt. Anyway, we were laughing. We were just checking out Twitter and just following up on wishing the Sharks well. And Killian tweeted out that in Pittsburgh, this is the day where the teams speak to the media, that Patrick Marleau was doing his interview with the National Hockey League Network without his teeth. There's a base hit to left field. The problem with errors to lead off innings is that it can grow into something that's just not any fun.
Well, that is the threat of Coors Field. Crooked number is just a bad breakaway. And things can really stack up against you quickly here.
Have you ever done an interview without your teeth? I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
No. No,
I mean, we'll do it without our glasses, maybe. Or
I don't think going without our teeth is an option.
Or we'll do it without a cup of coffee, but not without our teeth. Kind of goes with the territory, I do believe, if you're going to be a hockey player.
It's a badge of courage.
Here's LeMahieu. LeMahieu bunts this one foul. And I don't believe LeMahieu is bunting for a sacrifice, not when you're down by 4. Dave Fleming will be in. He'll be here in innings 4, 5, and 6. I'll head over to the radio side and be back in the 7th.
Famous Dave.
He is famous. There isn't any doubt about it. 0-1 to LeMahieu, who doubled in the first. Here he pops it out of play as Cueto got LeMahieu to lose his feet on that swing. Oh, 2. One and 2.
Man, good pitch. Johnny Cueto, let's take a look at how he uses his pitches. And when he's ahead of the count, he'll throw more changeups. And he'll do it when he's behind. It's just basically, you look at how he uses all of his pitches. And bottom line is he's not afraid to throw that pitch or any of his pitches in any count. He uses them all.
2-2. Stretches that one out to 92 miles an hour.
Johnny Cueto thought he had strike 3 on that paralysis fastball to LeMahieu. He's talking to himself. There's the 1-2 pitch. Clearly a ball.
Out of play. Oh, that just ruined his popcorn. That would really tick me off.
Well, what a great fan. He lost his popcorn, but he got the ball and he gave it to a kid about 2 rows down. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, that would tick my partner off. Kipe would go home.
You can keep the ball. I'm taking the popcorn.
Okay.
2 balls, 2 strikes. At second, Russin. At first, Blackman.
So this becomes a big pitch now with a 3-2 count. We're starting to see that more and more around baseball, though, where fans catch a ball, they'll find a kid, give the ball. I mean, how many years have we been watching fans of the bleachers catch a ball, throw it back on the field? Instead of doing that, find a kid.
And, you know, I think our opinion on that is you don't have to give it to a kid. If you want to keep it, keep it.
Yeah.
But it is a great idea. 3-2. Got him.
That's reach back. That's the best velocity fastball he's had all day. And he just threw it right by a good fastball hitter. First strikeout of the day. And what was perceived as the biggest pitch so far in the game, he goes to reach back velocity. And that's a big out.
I think LeMahieu was thinking something other than a single here.
Threw a fastball right by him. And guys, they don't like it. Fastballs thrown by him with the runners in scoring position. I mean, right now LeMahieu just had his jump shot blocked.
Here's Gonzalez, who hit a little dribbler out in front of home plate, and Cueto made a nice play and threw him out. Here he takes a strike at the knees. And that one Buster didn't catch right. You can see he's got a stinger. Ah, the life. Went back to it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
So a stinger is when you're a catcher, or really it can happen to anybody, but a catcher will catch one wrong and it lights up his hand, and you'll get a zinger that goes right up your arm. And what do you get to do? Well, you get to put your glove on and catch the next 92-mile-an-hour fastball. There's nothing easy about that position. There's nothing comfortable about that position.
So 0-1 to 2-1. Flips this one into left, and it's going to fall. And the bases will now be loaded for Arenado. That's a Coors Field hit. People always think that those balls hit over the fence are Coors Field's hit. They're not. This is.
Well, because the area is so big, I mean, you're playing back in respect of how well the ball carries, and in doing so, you really expose yourself to all the area between the infield and the outfielder. It got to be such an issue when Don Baylor was here, the very first manager that the Rockies ever had. He did a great job of opening this franchise up here. There were times we came in and he would move the infield or the outfielders in about 50 feet, maybe even more, with the idea that the balls over the head were going to go over anyway. Why not try and take the balls that are dropping in front of you? That didn't work. But he tried.
He absolutely tried. Arenado bounced out to Crawford in the first inning. We'll see if he can get Arenado to bounce another one to Crawford. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, they went right back down, the same location. And here's me trying to take advantage of a guy who's aggressive with men. I mean, no, Arenado has owned the Giants, but with men on base, he becomes a different hitter. He's a tough guy to walk because he wants to drive those runs in. Because of that, he will go out of the strike zone.
Tap foul. Guy was like that, Mike, when you pitched with Steve Garvey. At the end of the year, he'd have like 11 walks or 20 walks.
And that's what you tried to do. You tried to bounce curveballs and sliders in the dirt with runners on. Tried to throw something in the strike zone. Good luck. He's a great RBI guy. Good mistake hitter.
I was shocked when I saw that because all the years I was in the American League, I never saw anything like that. A guy that played every day, got 600 at bats, but only walked 10 or 11 or 20 times. But then when you watched him, then you would see on 3-1, he expanded.
Oh, he did. He wanted to knock that run in. And whatever you do, don't ever knock him down. That didn't work.
Here's the 1-2 to Arenado, and it's way outside, 2-2. So would have probably thinking that was a wasted pitch.
Yeah, you had a 1-2 count, and you wanted to have something a little more inviting. And it wound up being a pretty easy take for Arenado in a 2-strike situation.
And he started off with an error by Belt. 2-2 to Arenado. Russin at third, Blackman at second, Gonzalez at first. Three and two. I don't think Cueto right here. I mean, he wants to make a good pitch, but I don't think if he walks him, it's going to bother him.
No, if he walks him on a pitch in a location he wants to throw, if he throws a slider or a curveball down below the zone, I think that's he'll try and take advantage of Arenado's aggressiveness.
I guess he's just not going to challenge him. Pop back and out of play.
But there was the challenge.
At 93.
Again, reach back velocity. But I agree with you. I mean, if he did walk him, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Given the history that Arenado has had against the Giants, it's been incredible.
Three and two to Arenado. And he walked him.
That's the tight strike zone we're talking about from Jim Reynolds. It's going to bring Dave Righetti out to calm down Cueto a bit, give him a breather. Cueto clearly thought he made the pitch. He tried to go front door with a little cutter, just off the plate in a bit. Every pitcher's going to want that. And I do believe it was called correctly.
Something about that pitcher getting on to start out an inning in this park.
Well, it's great when you have a pitcher starting off an inning because you figure it's an easy out to get if you get it. But if it doesn't, then that's a fly in the ointment.
So here's Parra. Parra doubled over the head of Span, and he did that to lead off the second. Remember, this is the guy that Cueto has had trouble with over the years. One of the guys in this lineup. Parra and now Cueto are yapping at each other.
Well, each guy wants to control the tempo of the at-bat. There is a rhythm. And Parra is very deliberate getting in the box, and Cueto likes to work quick. Plus, he's half ticked off about the 3-2 pitch he didn't get with Arenado. But this just became personal.
On the ground, foul, and it's no balls and one strike.
It will be interesting these next few pitches, given the success that Parra has had lifetime against Cueto.
Belt's got it. He'll go to the bag. And that ends the inning. Dave Fleming will be in. I'll head over to the radio side.
Okay.
Bay Area is brought to you by Clipper. For work, play, and all points between, use Clipper instead of cash to pay for transit.
Welcome back to Coors Field here in Denver. We're ahead to the top of the fourth inning. It is 5-2 Giants, and here to tell you all about it, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
I like the Giants' strategy there at the end of the third. Just keep throwing it around, tagging anybody who's out there. Get as many outs as you can. Get 5 outs if you can.
It was, well, you couldn't tell initially if Brandon Belt had caught the ball on the fly, which he did. C.B. Buckner, the first base umpire, did. And with the runner running on the play, Arenado really makes a mistake right there. You can see Buckner saying, yeah, he caught it. Now the double play with the force on first. And in the end, they flipped the ball to Buster Posey, and he tagged out Charlie Blackmon.
Out number 4.
It's a 4-out inning.
Blackman's pointing like, no, he caught it. That's I'm not out. That's a double play. Inning was already over. Top of the order for the Giants.
And here was the exchange. A little stank eye.
Parra at least was waiting for Cueto to say something. 0-1 to Denard Span. It's a day for offense here in Denver, so you got to keep scoring.
Yeah, it's feeling a little hitterish, no doubt about it. Lots of carry, and there is 0 wind right now. I'm talking none wind. Flags blowing straight down.
It's funny, the one play, the double play where Span threw to Duffy and they tagged out Parra. That was the one moment of the game where for a few minutes the wind felt like it was blowing in, and Span came in with a little momentum behind it. Maybe helped him get that out. And Span crushes one to deep right field. This one is on its way and gone. And a big home run for Denard Span. Wow. Up into the second deck and well up there. His second home run of the year. You watch that and think, well, he's going to hit about 20 more.
You know, we felt this way when we saw him with the Washington Nationals. He'd hit home runs, and you're thinking, man, he's got some pop. Looks like a little lazy slider that just sort of hangs right at the belt, middle in. And he nails this thing. And watch it go. Backspin, halfway up the second deck. That feels good. Just like that, the Giants get that run back.
Here's Tomlinson. He takes a strike from Russin. I know, isn't that funny how this game works? The Rockies have that incredible threat, putting all the pressure on Cueto, throws all those pitches. First home run since opening day, and then one swing, and the Giants answer the run. Back to where we started before the bottom of the third. Yep, I hit that one a long way.
Hey, anybody want to hang in my arms? Oh, yeah.
0-2 Tomlinson, a roller. Arenado cuts over, throws out the speedy Tomlinson. If you are into the StatCast info, 441 feet. Here's Matt Duffy.
441.
Here's a called strike to Duffy.
Well, we're getting some information for our partner John Miller, who is on assignment this weekend. 441 feet, 102 miles per hour off the bat.
What was the launch angle, Mike?
36 degrees. Is there really a launch angle?
Yes, yes. That's a very high launch angle for a home run.
Wow.
0-2 to Duffy. He takes the ball. This guy, Tony Walters, fascinates me, the catcher for Colorado. All of, they have these ways now where they measure catcher framing ability, stealing strikes for your pitcher. He's off the charts, doing a great job helping his pitchers get all kinds of strikes. You watch him catch, and I mean, he makes some good saves on balls in the dirt and whatnot, but there's all kinds of, you wouldn't call him a quiet receiver back there.
Well, he's like a lot of young catchers. I mean, there's a lot of movement. I think you erode into a good target as a catcher. Your legs have to kind of get numb before you get quiet. I'm serious.
Not evolving, eroding. I like it. Duffy chased one down and bounces it foul.
I mean, we've watched it happen with Buster Posey. I mean, this is his 7th year at the big league level as a catcher, and he's really a quiet target now. And early in his career, he was not. I mean, he had movement in his lower body. But you catch enough innings, you are going to get quiet. You are going to get where you're very still. You do lose some of that ability to go left and right, which we see a lot of with Tony Walters. He's a very athletic catcher, but he moves.
2-2. A little pop up. Going to be a long run for Cargo. He's not going to get there. Foul. If he can't get there, most right fielders can't get there.
Yeah, he's got good range.
Lots of chatter today. Sunday, the day where you read all the notes columns around the big leagues, all the papers, the baseball writers, and
all the rumors.
Yeah, rumors about Cargo. Names starting to be tossed around again.
But he's like it's an annual rumor with him.
Every year. I don't think it phases him one bit. That's ball 3 to Duffy.
Well, they also will throw a rumor out there, and they'll also suggest teams that would be a good fit. And with Cargo, there's like 17 teams. He'd be a good fit.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the better outfielders in the game. I think he fits on most teams.
Yeah, he plays every day. He's got power. And not just Coors Field power.
That's ball 4 to Duffy.
He's nice at that.
Russin's talking to himself.
Well, he is, because he puts himself in the stretch, and now he's got to face the guys who've really swung the bat well against him today, Posey and Pence. He's got to do it out of the stretch.
Yeah, Posey and Pence look like they are very comfortable against this guy. Buster's got a double and a walk. He scored 2 runs. And he hammers one to center field. Another hit for Posey. Duffy stops at second. Keep hitting. It's a day for offense.
Oh, yeah, this place here. Oh, I think you have to approach every inning like you're down by 3 runs. Just keep scoring, scoring, scoring. And don't look up until the last out has been made.
It's really interesting. The Giants are 11 games over 500, playing good ball, best record in the big leagues in May. Feels like maybe the first real hot streak of the year starting for some of these guys.
I agree, and it just started in yesterday's ball game in the 8th inning. It's just like it just all just boiled over, and they hit so many loud line drives since.
This guy's just crushed the ball today. He takes a strike from Russin. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, has knocked in 2, has scored 2. They're glad to have him back. Ten hits for the Giants, 1 out into the 4th. And we're finally going to see some bullpen activity. I thought maybe it might come in the middle of the 3rd. They never got anybody up. Justin Miller is going to start to throw now.
Russin has slowed things down as this inning has started to go against him.
Strike 2 with the foul ball. Well, I was a little cranky at the start of the game. I didn't sleep all that well last night. It's altitude, whatnot.
No, because you were too excited about the basketball game.
I was very excited about the Warriors. We celebrated a little bit last night. So it's literally the second pitch of the game, and Russin shakes off his catcher about 10 times, and they call time and have to have a meeting. It's after 1 pitch.
I know.
It's like, what? How is that possible?
They haven't really hooked up.
Pence strikes out swinging.
Best breaking ball he's thrown today. First strikeout. All right, time now for our Geico quote. We're talking Warriors. Steve Kerr on Klay Thompson in Game 6 last night. So, well, obviously, Klay Thompson was ridiculous. The shooting was some of the most incredible you'll ever see. He was 11 for 18 with 3-point field goals, and he wound up with 41 points. The 11 3-pointers were an NBA postseason record. Well, we enjoyed it.
We did. He enjoyed it.
He enjoyed it.
He's got the Curry jersey. How do you have 2 guys who shoot the ball the way that those 2 do? Here's Brandon Belt. He launched a 2-run double his last time up. There's a breaking ball for a strike.
Russin right now is really riding that breaking ball hard. Hasn't thrown just very many just straight fastballs. Most of them has been cutters and sliders.
Belt chased, helped him out. There's another one of those breaking balls.
Yeah, he's pitching for his life right now with 6 runs in. See the pitch count, 21 in the second, 28 in the third. He's got 22 so far here. I mean, he is on thin ice.
Ahead of Belt 0-2. 2 on, 2 out. Very high with the fastball.
Easy take.
They go through every sign possible and pick the one they want. Ooh, Walters, almost like he didn't see that one.
It looked like he turned his head, but I think what he was doing was taking a look at Posey and see how far he was off first base. Mark Reynolds never even moved, so I don't really understand the look, but it did look odd, didn't it?
From 0-2 to 2-2. Belt right off the hands, foul. Bernard Span hit a long home run to start this inning. Duffy walked, Posey singled. Way up there. In that second level, that's where Span hit it. Another 2-2 pitch. Belt strikes out swinging. Russin ended up striking out Pence and Belt to limit the damage, but damage done by that guy, Denard Span. 441 feet. That's some exit velocity. 6-2.
Launch angle, 36 degrees.
Is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, Tuesday, June 7th and Wednesday, the 8th, the Boston Red Sox are coming to AT&T for a 2-game series. You can enjoy big savings to see David Ortiz and the Red Sox take on the Giants. $34 tickets in honor of 34's last regular season visit to AT&T Park. So enter the code Big Papi at checkout to save on tickets to this battle of first place teams.
Cueto to Reynolds. Pretty close, but called a ball. 6-2 Giants lead. That swivel move from Cueto. Fastball just pumped right in there.
He's got a four-run cushion, and he definitely knows how to use a lead. He's a good front runner.
Another one. Foul ball. 1-2. He has not looked happy with his precision today. I think he's been upset with some mistakes he's made in the zone.
And then he's also been a little frustrated with some of the corner pitches he hasn't gotten.
Yeah.
Tight zones can frustrate you.
I mean, that pitch, that's pretty close. I know it wasn't right to the target, and Cueto's going through his mechanics out there, but that was not that far from being a strike. Posey sets that target away. He goes right toward the target, but outside.
And you're out there on the mound thinking, how can you not swing at that? I mean, that was a pretty good teaser. When that thing was coming up to the strike zone, I mean, it looked like it was going to be possibly something you may have to cover. And Reynolds just spit on it.
That one is a ball. My goodness.
It's unbelievable. Well, we talked about Jim Reynolds' strike zone. It is a tight one. It's one of the tightest ones in the game. And you will see a lot of this from pitchers. It's a frustrating one. And, you know, it's not a good combination to have a tight strike zone and Coors Field. It just doesn't work. I mean, Buster Posey, he's 100% convinced that's a strike. He's about ready to throw the ball around.
I thought that was just right there, right? Not even. I thought he had a couple inches still to go and get a strike call.
Just not a pitcher strike zone. You always look at the umpire lineup when you come into a series when you have Jim Reynolds. You just know it's going to be one of those games. It's not going to be an easy game for a pitcher. You just don't get a lot of pitcher strikes.
Story, who homered his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. I almost have just a problem in general where you reward a hitter for taking with 2 strikes a pitch like that. It's like kind of against the spirit of the whole thing.
Yeah, it does, and it does frustrate you when you're on the mound. And 2 things bug you.
Almost hit him.
1, you're thinking the pitch should be called a strike, and 2, you're thinking in a 2-strike count, how can a guy take that pitch?
Yeah.
So Cueto clearly fighting through a little frustration right now.
Yeah. It's going to be a battle for him today. It already has been. Rockies have had, and this is a good offensive team for Coors or not Coors. Pretty good swing by Story on the fastball.
Well, this was the 2nd inning when Story takes a 3-2 slider on the outside part of the plate and goes with it to right field. Gives you an idea that that was his 14th home run, and his power is not a fluke. He has got strong hands.
Two and 2. Chops that one right off of home plate. Got big time power. They say his defense has been more than adequate. He's been a good defensive shortstop.
He's played well against the Giants. I mean, nobody's even talking about Jose Reyes.
No. The only talk has been, if there's been any, is, well, are they just going to release him or will they find somebody else to take him? Because there's no question this guy is the shortstop. He strikes out swinging here.
Really change up.
Big first out for Cueto.
He wound up backed it up. 2nd changeup in a row. And he gets Story out front.
Here's the catcher, Tony Wolters. He almost looks as tall in the squat as Wolters does in the batting stance. He's not a big dude, but you said it, he's a good athlete. Taking strike 1. That one right in there, and Wolters ripped it. Just kind of right down the middle. That's a base hit for the catcher. Pitcher spot coming up, and I thought that Walt Weiss would be tempted, but he's going to use Russin.
Well, I think the fact that he struck out Hunter Pence and Brandon Bell with 2 men on base in the 4th inning, I think that's what's keeping him in the ball game. Those are his first 2 strikeouts in the game. And managers will manage a little differently in this ballpark too with their starting pitchers.
Showing a bunt. He will take a strike. We saw yesterday the bullpen has not been real sharp for Colorado. They had problems against the Giants, so you can understand it. I think you're right. At a different ballpark, different day, maybe a pinch hitter comes up in this spot.
Oh yeah, if we're back at AT&T, he's sitting in the clubhouse right now with an ice bag on his elbow. His day is over. I'll say one thing about this ballpark. It will definitely toughen you up mentally. It's either going to toughen you up or it will break you down. I can elaborate on that a bit. When you have an outing where you give up 4 or 5 or 6 runs as a starting pitcher, you think you have failed. But in this ballpark, that could get you a win. When it's playing as offensive as we've seen it over the years. And it really allows you to develop that ability to forget and concentrate on the pitch.
Pulls the bat back, chops at it. Posey, it's a foul ball. Jim Reynolds was in no rush to make the call, so Posey ended up picking it up and throwing it to first just in case.
And I think that's a great attribute to have as a pitcher, the ability to forget. So often what has happened the previous 3 or 4 innings can influence how you pitch a particular inning. And a game situation will dictate to a degree. But if you could get past mentally having an outing where you've given up 5 runs and just continue to battle and try and make pitches, et cetera, I mean, that's the mentality you want to have. You want to commit to the pitch.
Russin bunts it foul. And that's it for him. That's big second out for Cueto. He gets credit for the strikeout, 2 down.
That's a tough walk back into the dugout too, because you have to walk by your manager. And they're not happy with you. So guess what? Tomorrow, he'll be bunting off the tee. Want some ice cream?
I do. I really, really do.
That little one there is not in any hurry. Got it just broken in right.
Blackman, backdoor breaking ball, strike called. Straighten it out a little bit.
There comes a point in time where you have to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yep.
She's not that far away from it.
It's a pretty warm day. It was 74 degrees at game time. Good save by Posey. Big spot here. Rockies put a lot of pressure on Cueto really in every inning of this game, and they're doing it again. 2 on, 2 out. One of their hottest hitters, Blackman, who's hit the ball very hard twice, is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Another close one, called a ball.
Got to fight through the frustration of a pitch you don't get. That's part of it, though. I mean, small strike zones, and they happen. You have to deal with them. They're not fun to deal with when you're a pitcher, especially in a live ballpark like Coors Field or Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Arizona. I mean, that's when you really want a little help in the strike zone.
Fly ball left field. Blanco broke in. Now moving back. He's got room. Out number 3. He worked through the frustration. Gave up a walk and a hit, but no runs. Crawford coming up in the 5th. 6-2 Giants.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Wendy's. Choose a junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT in Wendy's 4 for $4 meal at participating Wendy's for limited time.
The water feature out beyond center field at Coors. 6-2 Giants. We're in the Rocky Mountains for one final day before heading to Atlanta. Giants with that 4-run advantage. Russin, the starter, still in the game. Crawford hits one hard, but right to second. LeMahieu throws him out, one away.
This might be a situation where Garriga Blanco wants to take a pitch or two, just to give Cueto a bit of a breather. Bottom of the fourth was a lot of pitches from Cueto.
We talk about it a lot, but any inning that requires a lot of pitches, runners on base, high stress inning, takes something extra out of a pitcher. But when it happens here at 5,200 feet above sea level, it takes a little more.
It really does. It just feels like every inning's a gut check when you're out there on the mound here in Denver.
Not that it's in any way comparable, but I did a little workout this morning, and it makes you feel, it's humbling. It's like, man, am I in that bad a shape?
You are not. It's just not a lot of air up here.
It's
mile
tough.
high above sea level.
When you're not used to it. Takes that pitch.
It's also why the United States have trained their Olympians up in Colorado for many years. The idea, you train here, you're going to get a lung and a half.
The level is still pretty low. It's beautiful. Slash down the left field line, and that's a fair ball. Nobody touched it. Blanco into second, a one-out double.
That is a big play for a lot of reasons. One, it puts himself in scoring position, but two, it's going to buy Johnny Cueto a little more time before he has to get back out there on the mound.
Whether he swings away or bunts, even if he makes an out, it shouldn't be the final out of the inning.
I would be shocked if he bunted.
I would be too. Are you shocked?
Well, that was a bunt for a base hit. That was not something that was put on by Bruce Bochy. I probably should have clarified it. I'd have been shocked if he tried to bunt in a sacrifice fashion. And Cueto can swing the bat. I mean, you got good speed at second base with Gregor Blanco. Cueto, we've seen in this scenario when there's been runners in score position, he'll put a good bat on.
Not bunting. Ball one. Giants have put at least one man on base in 15 of their last 16 innings in this series. So they're doing a good job, not always cashing those runners in, but putting a lot of pressure on Rockies pitching. Justin Miller for the second consecutive inning, getting loose. Cueto, foul ball.
Good swing. He was on it.
So can he.
Cueto's never hit a home run.
Ever, ever, ever?
Ever, ever, ever.
It won't be on that swing.
No.
Even here, he knows got to swing a little harder than that to get it over the wall.
Cueto coming into the season was a lifetime 107 hitter. He does have one double. That's his only extra base hit.
This would be a good time for extra base hit number 2. Not this time.
It's all right. Now you can go back to the dugout, get a little breather.
So does the same thing apply for Span as it did to Blanco? Take a pitch or two, or no?
Well, no, especially when you consider what he did in his last at bat. He hit a home run, and so he's seeing it pretty good. He's got 2 hits today off Russin, and if you've got a guy out there in score position, you want to get something good to hit to try and drive him in. So I think that Cueto's okay now. He didn't have to run.
Got to be ready to hit. Good speed at second. He is ready. Fouls it off.
Well, the fourth inning, this was home run number 2. 441 feet into the second deck in right field. That's as big a home run as any that have been hit in this series.
First home run allowed by Russin all year.
That's amazing.
Brandon Crawford had done it to him last October. Pickoff play and close. Story says, I don't know, maybe.
Blanco getting up rather gingerly. Let's take a look. Well, Fielding Colbreth, the second base umpire. Rockies are looking at it.
They want a review. They want a challenge.
Take a look at the quick tag put on by Story. It was an absolute perfect throw from Russin.
Man, was his fingertip on the corner of the base?
If that's the only look you have right there, I don't know if that's enough to overturn it. But when you're down 6-2 and you have a runner in score position, I can see where the Rockies would challenge.
There are times when we don't get to see all of the angles that the umpires in New York have access to.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity. They're replaying that same angle that we just showed, where the contact point of the bag was partially blocked by the foot of Story, which made it difficult to see. There wasn't a very big reaction when they replayed it. As Dave said earlier, this is close to a sellout here today. Right here, just blocks it with his foot.
Yeah, you just can't. Is that fingertip on the bag? That's, and he's out. Apparently they could tell. That's not supposed to happen here with a guy who's swinging the bat well. 6-2, Giants have the lead.
Your special event package will include a game ticket to see the Giants take on the Brewers and a limited edition Will Clark themed Giants long sleeve t-shirt or long sleeve shirt. Proceeds from every special event ticket will be donated directly to nonprofits in the autism community to aid in their ongoing mission. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
LeMahieu, and he counts as one of them. Big hitters coming up for the Rockies here in the fifth, and another close pitch called a ball.
tight zone.
Gosh. That one hit well down the right field line. Pence after it. Pence will catch it. What a good play.
Well, that really was. One thing nice here, though, if you're a corner outfielder, there is some room between the foul line and the fence. You do have some area over there. Much bigger area in most ballparks. And I'm not sure if that ball was even going to be fouled. That could have been fair.
Could be. I didn't see a signal from the umpire. Usually the umpire, and maybe he did make a signal, will give you the idea whether he caught it when it was fair or foul. Here's Cargo. High and tight with the fastball. One and one. Giants have a chance to win the series. Of course, it's been tough on them these last couple of years. I mean, it's been tough in their history here, but this Rockies team in general has played the Giants very tough. That one is grounded, foul.
Well, this Rockies version, the 2016 version, is a pretty good team.
It is.
I mean, you combine what this team does defensively and what they do with the bats. I mean, they'll challenge any other starting lineup in the division. 2007, Colorado went to the World Series, Rocktober. Lit this town up.
In the dirt. An incredible finish to the year. I forget what the number was, but didn't they win like 20 of 21 games?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Good changeup.
They were as hot as any team I can even remember going down the stretch. And they just steamrolled teams.
Yeah, the A's had the 20-game win streak going back into their sort of Tejada, Eric Chavez, Mulder, Hudson, Zito heyday. But that was not quite at the very end of the year like the Rockies did it.
You put together a streak like that, you mentally think that you are absolutely bulletproof. You just think you are not going to lose and that you can't possibly lose. And the power of a group thinking that way is amazing.
Belt went a long way to get it. Feeds Cueto. Kind of zigzag to the bag, and he's laughing, I think, with Cargo. 2 down. Dan Peterson did a little research for us. At the very end of the year, 14 of their last 15 regular season games, the Rockies won. And then they swept their way into the World Series. So add on the wins on top of that, and that's right about what we were talking about.
And then they ran into a buzzsaw from Boston.
Red Sox turned the tables on them. To Arenado. That was the Red Sox team that Javier Lopez was a part of, beating his former team. He'd been a member of the Rockies to start off his big league career.
Jeremy Affeldt was on that Rockies team.
He was. You're right. 0-2.
You get to know Affeldt, Javier Lopez, and real easy to see why they were on championship teams time and time again throughout their careers.
Off The end of the bat, a pop-up. Posey, Belt, who's going to take it? Buster will. Arenado retired. And against the 2-3-4 hitters, Cueto retires the side in order. Top of the order coming up for the Giants. They lead 6-2. Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Also includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium. Visit MLB.tv for details. And even if you don't expect anything, it delivers. MLB.tv. Rockies bringing in a new pitcher for the 6th with the top of the order. 6-2 Giants have the lead, and Chad Qualls takes over.
Yesterday made his 800th career appearance. Here's Chad Qualls. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. 20th time he's come in for the sinker baller. You're going to see low to mid-90s with the sink, more lows than mids, and a hard slider. Basically a two-pitch guy.
He struggled this year. Not the guy we're used to seeing year after year. Has really been one of the more solid middle reliever types for a long while. Strike 2. So he gets the borderline strike.
I wasn't going to say it. Thanks for pointing it out, partner. Out, babe.
Oh, 2. The slider.
But you know, you think like that when you're a player and you have a pitch called against you. Now you're in the outfield and you see a similar pitch thrown to another hitter and it doesn't get called. You just want to call timeout and go start yelling at the umpire. Called it on me and not on him.
Cueto might have been ready to yell from the dugout after that one. That's a ball. 2-2. We got Tomlinson on deck, Matt Duffy, and then if the Giants could get to him, Buster Posey, who has not made it out in this game. He and Pence have been quite a combo in the middle of the order today. Buster stays pretty even keeled getting ready for his at-bats. Span hard on the ground and past the dive of Arenado, which means if he got it by him, he'd get it by anybody.
Hit number 3. I didn't know you could get a ball by Arenado. I've never seen it.
First time we've ever seen that.
The 3-time Gold Glover. He had the whole left side to his lonesome and slowed it down. I'm sure he's ticked off at himself because he touched it. just under the glove.
Have you noticed, has it been just me, these teams shifting against Span? I think he's trying to start to go that way. He's done that more often lately.
Well, it's definitely in his skill set. We saw him do that a lot when he was playing with the Nationals and the Giants were playing. He used that side of the field a lot, especially against left-handed pitching. But he is a bat control guy, and I would expect that out of him.
Tomlinson, a half swing. He's not happy with himself. He foul tipped at strike 2.
No, you're not going to be happy with that swing. But Tomlinson's also a guy that can do that in an at-bat to still beat you in the same at-bat.
Oh, 2. Right at the bottom of the zone. Called a ball.
Yeah, Qualls gets a feel of the tight strike zone.
You got one, Chad. That's all you're going to get.
Jim Reynolds, plate umpire. Not your pitcher's friend. Just a little bit low for Jim Reynolds. Chad Qualls, he was not happy about it.
Tomlinson strikes out on the slider. Did Tomlinson hit Reynolds?
I think he did with the bat, walking back. So everybody going to check and see if Reynolds is okay. Let's watch the back swing. Swings and misses. Now the bat comes around and it looked like he just got Walters. Oh, I see what happens there. He slapped the bat and then it hits Reynolds on the arm. Throws it up right here, slaps at it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're still buds, right?
Next time that pitch is going to be a strike, Kelby. Here's Duffy with one out.
I think to a degree as an umpire you strap that gear on, put the mask on, you think you're going to get hit maybe by the ball, certainly not by the bat.
No. Umpires get beat up too. He's still looking at that right forearm. Tomlinson's the kind of guy, every time he sees Jim Reynolds for the rest of his career, he may be apologizing for that.
Yep, he's that kind of guy. And I'm sure he feels bad about it.
That one is driven to right, but Cargo is there. 2 down. Posey does get a chance to hit against Russin, the starter. A double, a walk, and a single. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. He's having a big series.
Yeah, he's had 8 RBIs the last 2 days.
Ball 1.
The last time that the Giants were here in Colorado, I mean, you always look forward to Posey coming to Colorado because he hits so well in Coors Field. He missed the first 2 games of the first series the Giants had here.
No hitter wants to miss games in this ballpark.
And most RBIs in a game by a catcher in San Francisco Giant history. Jack Hyatt still on top of the pile with 7 in a game against Houston back in 1969. Posey, who's done it twice at 6.
There goes the runner Span. Foul ball. Buster did that in his rookie year in 2010 in a series that we will all remember. And I think it came right after the Giants had been here. They hadn't played well against the Rockies. They had just traded away Benji Molina to clear the job entirely for Buster, giving him the full-time job midway through 2010. July 4th-ish. They go to Milwaukee and Posey just goes nuts against the Brewers. And it was kind of no looking back for the Giants and for Buster. They chased down the Padres. 3-1. Am I getting that right? Is my memory good?
Yeah, right on.
That's a lot of World Series ago, a lot of big games and big series ago, but that was kind of the moment. Posey had made an impact already, but he was still sharing time behind the plate, wasn't getting regular at-bats, and the Giants kind of decided he's our guy.
Well, and we were all convinced that indeed they had made the right choice.
I think that has proved to be correct. He would go on to win Rookie of the Year that year, of course, lead the Giants to the World Series title. He didn't get called up until right around this time, so it wasn't a full rookie season. He was just that good.
So many big moments, so many big hits, and he was never surprised by any of it.
There goes Span, 3-2. Posey reaches for one and pokes it into right field. It'll be another hit for Buster. On base for the 4th time. He's 3 for 3. Span goes to 3rd.
A lot of his hits in this series have been to the right side of second base. And that simply means he's starting to get plate coverage. This is not a bad pitch for Qualls. I mean, that's off the plate about 8 inches. And Posey now able to get to the pitch that's off the plate. I mean, really, if you look from above, it looks like it's 10 or 12 inches off the plate. He's still getting to it. Through a lot of his spell when he was in a slump, he was not getting coverage on the outer half of the plate. He was pulling off. He was losing his legs on a lot of swing.
Two down for Pence. He chased one. Strike one.
It's a good breaking ball for Qualls. Right now his breaking ball is better than his sinker.
More pressure for the Giants on Rockies pitching. Into the bullpen here in the 6th. He threw it again. Strike 2. Pence is 2 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 driven in. Behind of the count 0-2. Posey runs and the pitch is in the dirt. They weren't paying any attention to him. Buster Posey, he should get credit for a steal there.
Absolutely. I mean, if they're not going to pay attention, go.
They were holding him on.
And with a guy who's a sinker baller like Qualls, I mean, they just took away the force at second base. That's a good play. It has to be his 2nd stolen base of the year.
It is. Good heads up base running. Pence to right field. Out number 3. Giants threaten but do not score. Another hit for Posey. Cueto back to the mound. Giants have that 4-run lead.
CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Well, the Giants and the Braves tomorrow. Our next telecast on CSN Bay Area. Pregame live 10:30 in the morning on Memorial Day. And we'll start the game right around 10 a.m. from Atlanta. Starting a 4-game series. Post-game coverage also. And Alex Pavlovich on CSNBayArea.com. Here we are in Denver before heading east. Oh, for a minute, it almost looked like Alex Smith on the left there with that Giants cap. Remember, he used to wear that Giants cap all the time. Just for a second.
Yeah.
Alex has lifted a few more weights than that guy. Parra.
It meant the world when he put that Giants hat on.
It was cool.
It was very cool.
Niners were starting their rise under Jim Harbaugh. Alex Smith was having a great year.
And little things like that really go big in a clubhouse. I'll never forget back in the mid-'80s when we weren't a very good team. And I'll never forget Huey Lewis and the News had a video, and in the video, one of the guys was wearing a Giants hat, and it was like the coolest thing because it wasn't that cool to be a Giants fan when the Giants were losing in '82 or 3, 4, and 5. But that meant the world to us, and we never forgot it.
Huey was big time back then.
Oh,
he's still big time.
He was the guy. Still one of the best anthems we've ever had.
Yep. Those guys are too busy. They're still too popular. I wish we could see them a little more often.
But I think it's cool when big league teams in the Bay Area support the other teams.
1-2. Parra strikes out swinging.
You know, there's a little something extra on that at bat. And the payoff pitch. Cueto goes above the strike zone with a fastball perfectly placed. He didn't forget the stank guy that Parra gave him running down the baseline in his previous at bat. Here, that's a strikeout that felt good for Johnny Cueto.
One out. Here's Mark Reynolds. 91 pitches for Cueto. There's a chance that we're playing here in Denver. Chance it could be his final inning, depending on how it goes. Reynolds out on the front leg. Blanco 2 down.
Well, 1 pitch outs are going to help.
That will help for sure.
See, the 3rd and the 4th inning, he had to throw 48 pitches. And aside from those 2 innings, he's been pretty stingy.
This is his 10th start. This is 11th start. Only 1 time in the previous 10 has he not gone at least 7 full innings. 9 out of 10, at least 7. Steal strike 1 with that breaking ball to Story. That one skied way up there. It's hooking toward the seats, just taking forever to come down. Look out. We're a mile above sea level. That thing at the top of its flight was 1.5 miles.
I think that's a pretty good point.
That was a big league pop-up. He would love to put Trevor Story away here and make this a quick inning. Uses that slide step. Just missed. The 1-2. Right there, strike 3 called. Beautiful pitch, 10-pitch inning. He retires the side in order. Kuyp will come back over and join Mike. On to the 7th, 6-2 Giants.
Score. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Through 6 full innings of play, the Giants 6 runs on 13 hits and 1 error. They've had 19 at bats with runners in scoring position. Rockies 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Johnny Cueto has been masterful again through 96 pitches. Denard Span a big day, 3 for 4 day, including his 2nd home run of the year. Buster Posey with 3 hits on the day. And that's your Toyota game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Right now, there's going to be a new pitcher for these Colorado Rockies. It's going to be Jason Mott when it's time for a change to Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. This is what he has done, rehabbing. 6 games in Albuquerque, throwing the ball pretty well. At his best, you'll see low to mid-90s with the fastball and a slider. And it's 6-2 Giants. Top of the 7th. Here again is Dwayne Kuiper.
All right. Mikey, the pitch to Belt, and Belt takes low. Well, what has Belt done today, you ask? All right, I'll tell you. 1 for 3, a double with 2 RBIs. And he hooks this one foul. So Belt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cueto with his best half inning. How about that?
Yeah, he had nice rhythm.
The pitch. Belt fouls it back, 1-2.
Jason Mott, 33 years old, in his 8th year at the big league level. A converted catcher. Had a great arm, put him on the mound. Came up with the Cardinals, and he was a real hard thrower. Mid to high 90s. Then he broke down and had to be rebuilt. Left the Cardinal organization in 2014 and went to the Cubs last year.
Look out. Do not hurt the other Brandon. Brandon.
Yeah, easy. (2013) Tommy John.
Attitude. Double attitude.
I like attitude.
Way outside the Belt, 2-2.
Change up.
Likely this will go 3-2. And a bullet to right, and a base hit for Belt. Belt, is he wise to challenge Gonzalez? And he made it. Belt, I'm telling you, he runs better with a sprained ankle.
I can't argue with you.
I mean, that big old giraffe was motoring.
I mean, you think back what he did yesterday. Belt had a 3-hit day, had 2 doubles yesterday. And every time he had a double, it looked just like this. I mean, this is an arm you don't normally take on. That's a great assist arm. That wasn't even close. He's 6'5", about 240. There's no limp at all. The left ankle there was slightly sprained in the last homestand. Low fly.
Crawford 1 for 3. And he fouls this one out of play.
Josh Osich getting ready to go. That may be the end of the day for Cueto.
What do you have? 92 pitches?
90 something. 96.
Driven to center. Blackman looking up. It is off the top of the wall. And Belt is going to score. And Crawford headlong into second base with a double. And it's 7-2.
That was loud. One of the strengths of Charlie Blackman in center field is his ability to go back on a ball. He's very good at it. And when this ball was hit, he just turned his head and started running. He had no chance. Right, hit the base of the wall. I think he thought he had a chance to hit it out of here.
I think he did. You're right. Here's Blanco. Blanco doubled in the 5th inning. Giants have 7 doubles. That's a season high. Connor Gillespie's in the on-deck circle. Swing, you're going to miss. I'm thinking 2.
Change up, way out in front.
'08, the last time the Giants had 7 doubles.
And they did it 08 against the Colorado Rockies. To no surprise.
We probably did that. Crawford with his lead. Little flare. And this is a thing. Blanco will take it. It's his 3rd hit. Mott's going, seriously? I don't mind giving them up when they're hit hard.
That's exactly what he's thinking.
A duck snort, I'm not digging it at all. And now is when Walters has to, give him a pep talk. So here's Gillespie.
Johnny Cueto's afternoon has come to a conclusion. 6 strong innings, 6 hits, a couple earned runs, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts.
Got into one minor beef with Gerardo Parra, which is, kind of entertaining.
Just to stay in shape. 1 earned run.
Gillespie right back to Mott. That's 1. And that's 2.
Well, that's a nice play. A nice play.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because a lot going on there. Mott got the ball. He froze Crawford at 3rd. And then he still had enough time to complete the play. And you're not going to get a lot of speed going down the line with Gillespie. But watch him freeze the runner with a look. There's the look. Now you make the play.
It was. And you don't usually see that once that pitcher looks to 3rd. Here's Span. Span's got 3 hits. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Osich is ready.
Crawford now at 3rd all by himself. Blanco's been on base 4 times. Posey's been on base 4 times. Span's got a strike left. It's 0-2. Almost to the backstop. 1-2.
Watch the way that Striker Blanco gets up. I think it's okay. He was doing this in the outfield though yesterday, stretching his leg out a lot. Hey, we're almost to June. Everybody's got a couple dings, right?
Yeah. Plus, I don't think hamstrings and altitude go hand in hand.
A lot of dry weather up here. Giants lost Matt Cain in the first game of this series with a hamstring problem. He'll be on the disabled list for at least 2 weeks.
Span stays alive. He'll see another pitch. Giants yesterday had 16 hits. And they have 16 hits today.
Well, that's exactly what Bruce Bochy was hoping was going to happen here in this 3-game series, that the offense would start to get their confidence going, and it has happened.
Hit up the middle. Story's got it. He will straighten up and throw, and that'll end the inning. Giants pick up a run. Walters will lead things off. Here at Coors Field. here in the middle of the 7th inning, with the Giants leading 7-2. Giants have a new pitcher. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So Josh Osich is the new pitcher for Bruce Bochy. 26th time he has come in. For Osich, 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA, mid to high 90s with the fastball. Got a slider, changeup, and he'll throw them all. He's not a guy that pigeonholes into 2 type of pitches. He will throw them.
Stanley Cup Final Game 1, Sharks and Penguins tomorrow at 5. NBC Bay Area coverage continues with the Sharks Playoff Central on CSN California. Sharks in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time ever. So you do not want to miss Sharks playoff coverage on CSN California. Good luck. We'll be watching. There you go.
Yeah, there's an authentic fan. Oh, yeah.
Dad's showing Junior how to hold it up.
Well, that sign's got good mojo right now. Well, she loves the Giants and her dad. It's a great place to bring your family. They really do a nice job here at Coors Field.
Yeah. We haven't gotten the attendance, but like I said earlier, this has to be a sellout.
It is packed.
So Osich is going to face Walters and then Christian Adames, a pinch hitter, here in the 7th. Osich pitched yesterday. He did not get an out. And he almost dings Walters right off the bat. So it'd not be a comfortable at bat.
Well, yeah, that thing too is the type of fastball that Osich throws is a 2-seam fastball, so it's going to move into a left-handed hitter. And if you get hit by a 2-seam fastball at mid-90s velocity, it is not a good feeling.
And a strike. 42,307. It is not a sellout.
Well, a healthy crowd. 50,000 plus is what Coors Field can hold.
Swing.
And the rooftop, which is added last year, I believe, right? It's been 2 or 3 years with the rooftop. It is definitely the place to be. Got a bunch of taverns, bars up there. A lot of fun. Of course, there's Famous Dave's.
Look out, almost got Walters again. 2-2.
Well, with a 5-run lead, you don't want to be issuing any free passes by way of a walk or a hit batsman.
If you can somehow avoid making the last 3 innings interesting, then you've done your manager a great deed. Get on the ground to Tomlinson, who's going to charge and throw, and they get Walters, who runs pretty good. So here's Adames. Christian Adames, switch hitter, coming in to hit against Josh Osich with 1 out in the 7th.
He's the only switch hitter on this Rockies team.
As Osich always does, he comes in throwing hard. That last pitch at 96.
Strong, barrel chested.
Out of play. The skies are starting to look weird, and it's not unusual when the Giants leave Denver as they drive to the airport, it always looks like the world is coming to an end.
It does.
And that is, it's amazing how that is so true. Up high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And weather comes in so fast in this town. It's amazing.
You can have 4 days of no clouds and sunshine, but on that bus to the airport, things are going to change. Not close, 3-1. The Rockies just need base runners. They don't care how they reach. And they're going to get one here with 1 out in the 7th.
And that's the last thing that Osich wanted to do. Just like that, there's going to be a call to the bullpen. So Hunter Strickland going to get up, start tossing it.
Buster Posey, a little pep talk to Osich.
Well, and I think he's just saying, don't overthrow. Trust your stuff, keep it down. Let's get that ground ball double play. I mean, with all the 2-seam fastballs that he throws, I mean, he keeps that ball down around the knees, you get ground balls from him.
And if you got a tight strike zone, sometimes it's not easy. Two and 0.
You're not going to get any help from the guy calling balls and strikes. It just isn't going to happen.
There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. At first, Adames, who drew a walk. 3-1. Remember, this happened yesterday with Javier Lopez, where he walked 2. And the Rockies went on to score 4 times and take the lead in that game. Tapped out in front of home plate. Buster Posey says, I got it. They need an out, and they get an out. And Blackman is thrown out. 2-3.
Yeah, I think he swung at ball 4 too.
I think he did. Adames moves down to second. And he really did is he helped out Osich, who's just dying right now to make sure he throws strikes.
Well, and you know, it's true, and the longer you go without throwing one, the harder it is to throw one. And you start guiding it, not letting it go, and you start to get evil thoughts. Avoid evil thoughts in this ballpark.
Avoid evil thoughts in life.
Amen.
But here, big lead at second. Osich doesn't seem to care. And LeMahieu takes a strike. Thank goodness that system is not above us. The pitch. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You're right, bright sunny here, but it is pouring out at the airport. And right where all those clouds are, that's where we have to go to the airport. It's not a short ride to the airport here in Denver. It's about 30 minutes with no traffic.
Down low, Bruce Bochy sits in the first seat, and you and I are right behind him. And there have been a couple of times where I felt like I was a little kid, and Dad was sitting there, and just tap him on the shoulder and say, "Dad, can we go back to the hotel and just spend the night?"
He was in a better mood this morning.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
we called it on him too.
Grumpy.
And he admitted it. New baseballs for home plate umpire Jim Reynolds. I mean, the rule is Bochy's grumpy because something Affeldt did. Well, he's not here.
Affeldt's not here anymore.
And a line drive at Crawford, and that's going to end the inning. Or he's mad at Flannery, and Flannery's not here.
Yep.
7-2 Giants.
Podcast is live on CSNBayArea.com, and you can log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich talks baseball. It's also available on iTunes.
Giants with a 7-2 lead. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So Justin Miller, the new pitcher now for Colorado. See what he has done in 18 games, 1-1 with a 4.66 ERA. Miller 6'3", 215-pounder. He's 28 years old. He's got a year's time at the big league level. Good stuff. 22 strikeouts in 19 and a third. He throws hard. We'll see mid-90s velocity on the fastball with a hard slider and a changeup.
Tomlinson is 1 for 4. 8th inning. And it's outside for a ball, 1-0.
Justin Miller out of Fresno State.
Fouls this one just off the protective fence in front of the upper deck. Look out. So Tomlinson gets dinged.
And Justin Miller does the Giants a favor with the leadoff hitter, especially a guy like Tomlinson who's got good speed. Just setting an inside target. I don't believe there's any intent behind this. I can't imagine there would be. Nevertheless, it doesn't make it feel any better. Getting hit on the tricep, that's tough.
Back of the arm.
It's not like he hit him with a changeup either.
Duffy 0 for 3 with a walk. He lined out to Gonzalez in right field in the 6th. And he rolls this one foul. Mr. Posey to follow. And now timeout is called.
Miller came set hella for a long time. And if you're going to do that, the reason Miller's doing it is it upset the timing of Tomlinson, the runner at first base. And you can't be mad if a guy backs out of that batter's box. Hitters cannot let a pitcher ice you down. Turn you into a statue up there by waiting.
Low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
This was the strikeout that Tomlinson had. He swiped his bat. It came over and hit Jim Reynolds, the plate umpire, right on the forearm. I think that'll be the last time he does that.
You never know what can happen. Duffy down the right field line, foul. Posey on deck. Giants trying to get out of town with a win.
And beating the weather would be nice.
Got him. Duffy thought about it, but couldn't pull the trigger.
After Tomlinson gets drilled, remember, he put a little pain on Reynolds. Reynolds came out, pats him on the back. I think he was just standard procedure for an umpire, keeping the peace. You never quite know what a hitter's going to do. If he senses that that hit batsman was intentional. I don't think it was.
And Posey takes outside for a ball.
Yep. Clouds are getting darker.
Yeah, they are.
Just north of here, it is raining.
1 ball and no strikes. Posey's been on base 4 times. And here he takes a strike. Giants have had a man on base in all 8 innings. 8 of 9 innings yesterday, so 18 of their last 19. That's pretty good. Forces that pitcher out there to pitch out of the stretch a lot. Posey drives it to right. Gonzalez is there. He'll make the catch. Buster's trying to figure out, nobody that I've ever played against has played me there.
Well, he just took away an extra base hit. Nevertheless, another good at bat.
Here's Pence.
And another good at bat that allows him to drive the pitch away. Plate coverage has really, really come together for him here in this series.
Pence at the plate with 2 outs. And he takes a strike. Hunter doubled his first 2 times up, and then he struck out and he's flied out. Looks down at Roberto Kelly. Outside corner.
Perfect location. See a little crossfire action he gets with that fastball. That's a 4-seam fastball. There's really not a whole lot of movement to it, but when you come across from the third base rubber to the outside corner to a right-handed hitter, in the eye of the hitter, it looks like it's got a little cut to it.
Tomlinson goes, and Pence skies this one into the upper deck. And it remains 0-2. Tomlinson does not go, and this is hammered into right center field. This baby is off the very top of the wall. Here comes Tomlinson. He can scoot. He will score. Pence with his 3rd double of the game. Eight doubles in one game. That ties the San Francisco Giants record.
It may not be done. A year ago, that's a home run. With the new extension in right center, I mean, we've really seen it have an effect on balls.
Yeah.
Last series, we had Trevor Story 2 times. That balls hit that screen high.
Arenado yesterday.
Arenado yesterday.
Here's Belt. Belt takes a strike.
They extended the fence in left field right by the foul pole.
Belt has 2 doubles in this game. And it sounded like it hit his bat. It did. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, and 2, I beg your pardon. Crawford to follow. Overshift is on for Belt. Seems pretty standard these days.
Yeah, he has to have gotten used to it as many times as he sees that shift.
And he takes high. 1 and 2.
Not that he likes it.
No, he hates it.
I don't think he'll ever like it.
Belt out swinging at 94 to end the inning. Giants pick up a run. It's now 8-2. Right here on CSN Bay Area. And the highlights that they'll be looking at will be the Giants and Rockies. Steve Kerr is going to talk about Game 7, and Brody Brazil and Kevin Kerr's there in Pittsburgh. And they'll give you a report on what's going on with the Penguins and the Sharks. Osich stays in the game. He's facing Gonzalez. By the way, Gonzalez hit a home run off of Osich yesterday. And he brushes him back. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
I think he remembers that.
No overshift, but Crawford's playing very close to being right behind second. As there's a fastball high 2-0.
Yeah, in all likelihood, this is going to be the last hitter that Osich faces. And he does not want to do what he did last inning. And that's walk a guy.
Hit well into right center field. Did he do it again? Gone. Somebody's got ownage on Osich, and it's Carlos Gonzalez. It's now 8-3.
That was a 2-0 count. He could not walk him. He had to challenge, and Gonzalez laying in the bushes for it. High leg kick, get it down, boom, and unloads. And that is not just a Coors Field home run. That would have been out everywhere.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. Nobody out. Here's Nolan Arenado. And on the mound is Hunter Strickland.
Well, let's take a look at Hunter Strickland's numbers through 21 games. 2-0 with a 3.38 ERA. 20 strikeouts at 18 2/3. Definitely strikeout stuff with mid to high 90s on the fastball. Slider and a split.
Remember, Arenado hit the ball that went off the screen in the game yesterday. Off the screen that protects the bullpen for a double that knocked in a pair of runs. One ball and one strike. 0 for 2 today for Arenado. He did walk with the bases loaded. Picked up his 39th run batted in. Hooks this one down the left field line. That'll be foul. Hunter Pence has got 3 RBIs today. He's in the leaders in the RBI department. He's now has 36 on the season. And so 3 doubles today. It up and it's going to be out of play.
That is mano-y-mano. Suppose he called a breaking ball on a 1-2 count. Hunter Strickland shook it off. He wanted to go inside with that fastball.
On the ground to Duffy. Duffy's got it. 2 outs. Or make it 1 out. Just kind of want to get to 2 outs. That's the deal here.
Well, you've got baseball player anxiety, and that's from years and years of being around storms that are threatening the area.
No, it's not that. It's this place here. It's Coors Field.
Yeah, well, the Coors Field can make that feeling appear.
I had mile high anxiety when I played in AAA when we come in here to play. And the only time I had mile high anxiety is when I wasn't hitting.
Well, you're right. I mean, we played here when Denver was a minor league town. At least it was. The city was never a minor league city, but Denver was in the American Association, a AAA team.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was hysterical, some of the numbers that the Denver teams would put up.
It was a scary place to
remember
pitch.
a guy by the name of Kenny Hotman, and he'd hit 50 home runs. Roger Freed, 50.
Roger Freed, big first baseman.
Foul to the backstop, 1 and 2, and it was not a long ways to left. Remember, it was a football field, right?
It was Mile High Stadium, and when we played there, they hadn't built the stands that slid back.
Yeah,
It was
a
like,
little.
It was like 280 to left field. Imagine that in this environment.
1-2 pitch to Parra. He rolls this one to Belt. Belt will make the play. 2 outs.
When I played here in '76, the AAA team was the AAA team for the Montreal Expos, and they had the greatest team I'd ever seen. And Ellis Valentine, and Warren Cromartie, and Andre Dawson. Roger Freed, you mentioned, he had 46 home runs that year. I mean, they were just good.
Reynolds 0 for 2. Out of play. Nice catch.
But when you would come here, I mean, you'd always think this is a big league town. They should have a big league franchise here. Let's take a look at the play.
Well, even then, the question was, is how are you going to control what's going to happen on the field? And they're still trying. There's a swing and a miss by Reynolds, 0-2.
Well, you're right. We saw the fence extensions this year in right center and down the left field line. The humidor.
Strickland comes in, he gets 2 ground balls, and it's 1 and 2 to Reynolds. 8th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes as that pitch is down low.
Changeup. Don't see a lot of changeups from Hunter Strickland when he's behind the count yet. I think that's definitely in his future.
Look out. 3-2. High pop up into the seats. Just shy of the 3rd deck. The goal is to win as many games in Denver as you can, and also try to keep your bullpen from just getting torched.
That is the biggest fear for a manager and a pitching coach coming into this ballpark.
And what you'd really like to have is a day off tomorrow, and then everybody could adjust after that. It's not going to happen.
But on the other side of that coin, I mean, if you're San Francisco and you're going to play a team that's coming from Denver, I mean, that's your hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally got him as Reynolds loses the helmet, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up. It's 8-3 Giants.
The game is brought to you by Honda. We think Denard Span would be that guy for a lot of reasons, one of which was the defense that he displayed early in the ball game. Get an assist and a perfect throw, and Gerardo Parra will be out, but also with the bat, a 3-hit day for Denard Span, especially when you leave the yard. A 441-foot home run, his 2nd of the year. Put it all together, he's our player of the game, brought to you by Honda.
Here's Crawford facing Miller. And Crawford takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Crawford's got a couple of hits. One of them a double that knocked in a run in the 7th. And a strike. Blanco on deck. And then we'll see. Parker is on the top step, licking his chops. Crawford hits a high towering fly ball to right, but it's going to stay in the park. He just missed that one. What on?
Wow. I thought he got it. Just a little bit too much height. I mean, it's definitely wind. It's not favoring the hitter right now, but took a little of the trajectory out, flattened it out a bit, it'd have been out of here. So he's going to walk back to the dugout. What's he going to say?
Just missed.
Yep.
Just missed. I can't say that too much. Guys get tired of hearing it after a while. Darrell Evans said it every game.
Bobby Mercer said it every game.
Every game. And Darrell blamed Candlestick every game. I mean, he must have forgot that the ball carried to right at Candlestick.
Yeah, more than left, no doubt.
Strike call to Blanco. 1 ball and 1 strike.
With all the threatening rain, it looks like the strike zone is starting to loosen up a little bit for Jim Reynolds.
Jim's got to get out of town.
I guess umpires have to catch planes too.
They do. Out of play, 1 and 2 to Gregor Blanco.
That's catcher interference.
There you go. Blanco's aboard. E2.
You can just hear it. As Blanco starts to swing, it just catches a piece of the glove of Tony Walters, the Rockies catcher.
I'm thinking Blanco's going, no, I didn't hit it.
Like
I got 3 hits in this game. I'm going for 4.
He wanted to keep hitting.
Look at Gregor, disappointed.
Let's listen. Yep.
Here's Parker. Parker with a shot, and LeMahieu in self-defense. That's 1, and that's 2. Nice play. He's a Gold Glover.
Wow.
So we'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Giants lead 8-3. Giants is George Cantos comes into the game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So the numbers for George Cantos: 13th time he's come into a ball game. 10 1/3 innings. He's allowed 13 hits, walked 3. Cantos, a 4-pitch guy: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Still working his way back from the disabled list.
Story's going to hit first. Rockies have scored 3 runs in this game. 2 have been by way of the solo home run. Story in the second, Gonzalez in the 8th. And Cantos to Trevor Story. And it's a strike, and it's 0-1. 17 hits for the Giants, 7 for Colorado. And that's off of Story's foot. 0-2. He's got protection on the left shin. See where it hits.
All right, take a look. Left leg plants.
No.
Oh, right below the knee.
Of course it never's going to hit the guard. Just never does.
You know, the thing is really, you never really talk about it, but he hit that ball well. And this is a guy that's got 14 home runs, so it could take some time to walk that one off. Schinberger.
So Story back in the box. He's behind in the count 0-2. Cueto struck him out in the 4th and in the 6th. Cantos is going to strike him out here in the 9th. 1 out. It's a hat trick for Story. Here's Walters. Tell you what, as exhausted as these games are, that 3-hour flight to Atlanta, boys are going to be tired.
Yeah, they are. And then tomorrow, a day game, as the Giants will open up the first of a 4-game series in Atlanta, and it's going to be warm.
Here's Walters, 1 for 3, and he takes a strike. And it'll be the last time the Giants will play in that ballpark. Thursday will be the last game.
It still doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. I agree.
Ballpark originally built for the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, then they just kind of rolled it into a ball field. It was a great park.
They've won a lot of division titles in that park. Walters takes low.
Like 14 in a row.
Yeah. 1 World Series.
Anchored by 3 starting pitches that are all in the Hall of Fame.
All of them.
Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz.
And the manager. 2-2.
Bobby Cox.
Walters,
all deserving.
All deserving. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit slowly to Tomlinson. Threw a little high, but felt does not have a problem. 2 outs.
Well, it's nice to have a 6'5" first baseman.
It is.
Big target over there with soft hands.
Descalzo, the local kids coming up. And Descalzo takes high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Descalzo, born in Redwood City, went to UC Davis.
2-0.
The St. Francis High School in Mountain View. Descalzo, he was the captain of the football and the baseball team. Gives you an idea of his leadership abilities.
And a base hit into left field.
There are a lot of people in this game think that Descalzo at some point in his life is going to be a big league manager.
I agree. So here's Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon is 1 for 4. And a strike, and it's 0-1. LeMahieu would hit if Blackmon extends the inning. Posey caught that one, and it looked like it hurt him.
He got stung a couple times today. That was a two-seam fastball with big-time movement. And I think right now, George Contos took a walk just to give his catcher a chance to get some feeling back in his hand. That lit him up.
I believe you're right.
I mean, that was big-time movement, a little more than Posey is used to with that two-seam fastball from Contos. That thing took off.
Blackmon stays alive with this pop-up out of play. And the 0-2 pitch, driven into right center field and hit well. And this one is caught at the wall, and that's the ball game. Blackmon thought it was gone. I thought it was gone. It was not. So the Giants come in here. They take 2 out of 3 after losing game 1 on Friday night, and they did what they had to do, and now, Mike, they can have a happy flight.
Well, indeed, and win the back end of a 3-game roadie here in Denver. I mean, that's big-time momentum as they springboard now to Atlanta. But what we saw today was outstanding hitting up and down the lineup. Another big 17-hit day for the Giants, 16 yesterday. They have definitely found their offense.
So the Giants win this one by a final of 8-3. They will get on a plane and head to Atlanta. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That starts right now.